on, everybody? Back for a Midwest talk with I almost said yourself, myself, Dylan. I got Lynn and Jack here. We're going to be talking about AI and then mistakes that we've made when growing our real estate portfolios that you can pay attention to so you don't lose as much money as we have and prevent yourself from cash flowing as long as we have in certain instances. What's going on today, everybody?
Doing great. Thank you for having us.
It is your podcast too.
Yeah, and I just want to
It is really Lynn's podcast. She is the circus wrangler, trying to keep us to it in check.
You put it together.
But what were you going to say, Lynn?
Yeah, we're gonna start doing lives on Saturdays. I know it's gonna be like junky, so if we can just have the audience know we're gonna be tuning in at noon PST, 3 p.m. EST, and Dylan's time 2 p.m. So
It's 3 p.m.
Oh,
for
3
me.
p.m.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
it's EST here. Since you own your properties in the north,
Yeah.
those are on CST.
Oh man. Okay.
Really? There's a divide line that shifts over?
Yes.
Yeah, Indiana's just a very tall state, so we've got two different time zones.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I was always wondering. I was like, okay, because I'm sending you emails, guy, like 12 p.m. PST, CST, 2 p.m., 3 p.m. CST. I was like, we're in 3 different timelines. Okay.
I thought the CST was just for yourself.
Yeah. So every Saturday now, 12 p.m. PST.
Yes, that works. All right, so let's get into it. Have you guys used AI in any way in your portfolio? If not, what are some of the things that you've been looking at where AI might be useful for you?
So I've been using AI to review tenant screenings and to help, because like some of those tenant screenings that I pay for, they're like 30 pages long, and I give the impromptu, like, hey, here is the 20 things I really want to see. Take this 40-page document and summarize the whole thing and prompt these 20 things at the top of it. And usually it writes me a college thesis, and I was like, no, I want a bullet point technical paper written, and then it redoes it, and it's under a page. And then I'm usually happy because it saves me a good like 45 minutes to an hour of reviewing tenant screenings, trying to review all that. And I feel like that the AI is really going through and getting a lot of the information, pertinent information, instead of me just lightly skimming across all of it. It's getting the pertinent information I'm really looking for, throwing it on top, and then just doing a brief summary on everything else. And so far, it's worked for me. The other thing I've been using it for is writing the listings. So I do what Dion does, but when it comes to this, I've gotten even lazier than Dion, and I'll imprompt Dion's channel onto the prompt and say, figure out how this guy writes, see what he says about how to write a listing. Here's the address to my rental property. Write the listing for me. And so far, I give it an 8 out of 10. Like, there's a couple things I've had to tweak and stuff, but it's absolutely nailed it.
I would say going forward, something you can do is you can have a file that stores all the context around how to write that specific listing. And then you can just say, use this file to write a listing for, and then give it your information about the property.
I like that. Yeah, that would actually save some time. The other thing I'm planning on switching over to once I get a little bit more time. I started it about a year and a half ago, but I'm trying to build an AI system where it uses my business number and creates so tenants will call or text, preferably text, and it will then like, hey, my toilet is leaking, and it will then kick it over to my personal number and be like, do you want to handle this? Yes or no? And I'll say yay or nay. And if I say no, it'll then go, okay, and then uses that my business number to then go and text the plumber that I use, hey, when's a good time to come out and take a look at this? Here's a tenant, and then actually have a three-way conversation. But it's mostly between a tenant and the plumber, and it's just keeping track of everything.
That'd be a pretty easy thing to set up, by the way. You just need to use it. It'd really be like a mix of, I mean, you could use N8N, but that's probably just like a Make or Zapier integration between like a ChatGPT, Claude, or Perplexity, and then like a Google Voice account, and then you just integrate those. So it's like when text is received, look through or read the text. If text contains words water, sink, anything like that, then grab the plumber from this list, send a text message with them in the chat and the number that sent the original message. And, I could show you how to do that.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, because I've been kind of stuck on it for a while.
Oh, maybe you can show him right now.
Oh, jeez. We need a tutorial right now.
Yeah, anybody can learn. I think because I don't self-manage, I don't use AI as much. I think the only thing that I use AI for is when I'm trying to structure a seller finance deal and I don't want to like bring up my calculator and then just like work backwards from the payment of like down payment versus interest rate versus balloon payment. How much am I going to pay eventually? I think that's the only thing that I use AI for, but I just started using Loom. So, and this is just I standardize because I do have like 12 mortgages and 12 different insurances and 12 like mortgage servicing companies. And so I do want to start standardizing, like, this is how you pay the mortgage. Just in case in the future, I'm going to start having any type of person help me, any type of assistance, like boyfriend probably. But just want to make sure that he knows, like, this is where you get the evidence of insurance. Like, for example, if I'm getting pre-approved for another loan, for example, I just need like that file just to be updated, and like he could do it, I don't have to do it, kind of thing. So just to standardize those videos and then have that be more easily accessible, as opposed to like, oh, what insurance is this property again?
So I've got something to help you out here too, because I have built like an SOP system with like Loom and stuff like that before. I use sites.google.com. It's a way to create like free websites. I don't know if you've used it before, and then just like have tabs and then different links to like Loom videos for like each step, like, setting up mortgage payments 101. And then you just have 3 different links to different videos in there. I found that's really easy. And like, if you're using it internally, that's what I used at the last company I worked at to create like their whole SOP system. It was super easy.
Can you integrate that with the automated text phone call thing that we were just talking about?
Yeah, you could probably do anything like that.
You probably can refer to the same link, right? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, there's quite a few tools that we can use. Maybe we can actually do a video about this sometime. Make.com and Zapier, I sent those to you guys in the chat, but those are like automation platforms. I would say if you're not tech savvy, they're relatively simple to use. They're difficult to learn at a deep level, but you can just create some small stuff like when mortgage payment is completed, write something here. Like if it sees from your bank statement that the mortgage payment for a specific property went through, stuff like that. It's not AI, but you can integrate AI because they have integrations with ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, all that stuff. So
how do you guys feel about like sharing passwords via these like tools that say like Loom, and then you're sharing passwords in googles.com? Do you guys feel okay about that?
Sharing passwords sharing passwords with employees?
With like assistants.
Oh, I mean, that's what I did. But something you can do so you don't have to give them passwords is use something like I know there's Keeper, there's like Lock something, but essentially those password collection tools, you can make it to where they never see what the password is, but it will enter it into the platform for them, and they just click through. As long as you have like a sub account for them in your account, then you never have to share passwords with them.
Okay.
Yeah, might be a little safer. But man, I didn't think we were going to have this much on AI today. This is AI and tech, I guess. It's not all AI.
Yeah, we're gonna check out what is it, make.com, you said?
Yeah, so make.com. That one is the one I use. Zapier is also like make.com. I just like make.com more. You should be able to start for free as well and just create like some simple tests. Like I would make things as simple as if somebody fills out a Google form, enter this thing into a Google Sheet, and then you can just see how it works a little bit and play with it. And then you can make more advanced stuff. Like if somebody sends a message to this Google Voice account that you log into on Make, then do this thing, or call ChatGPT, have ChatGPT read the message and determine like what needs to be done. And then once it determines what needs to be done, then do the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do see that we have Mark, Curtis, and Jim tuning in. What's up, everybody? Yes, I'm getting some work done today, Mark. This is my third call of the day. It's been fun.
Fourth, I thought.
I talked to Brandon. That was just like on a phone call. So
Okay,
about
I was counting that one.
Yeah, so we were talking about the duplex that I want to build because I was asking him a little bit more of the things that I need to know when it comes to actually like wanting to get plans drawn up to go build that thing. And he was giving me some advice, and we were talking about his speech because I didn't get a chance to watch it because I booked my tickets for the wrong days.
Brandon was one of the best ones, I think.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but Brandon was great. Yui was great. Cody was great.
I thought Jared was good.
Jared was great.
All right.
Yeah.
So we know who Jack likes now.
Well, I'll be honest. Like day 2, okay. So like Rob Abasolo, I kind of stood in the back. I listened to what he said, but I, like the whole time, me and Cynthia were kind of looking at each other. We're just like, doesn't apply to us. Doesn't work here in Pittsburgh. And then Pace Morby was on, and at that point, I was just like, I was looking at the itinerary for the rest of the event. It's like, okay, Dr. Jeff, that'll be recorded, and then it's the 4 amigos, and I just like, and I can see that like she's losing interest fast, and I was like, you want to go back to the hotel?
Yeah. Yasik said he thought the best presentations were in the back.
Yep. I don't know about that.
That's where we're all hanging out.
That's where all the troublemakers are.
Yeah, I didn't get to make it to day 2, but I was there for like 4 days, so it was fun. If anybody is watching,
I don't have short term, so like Rob also wasn't like as engaging, but I do like, I know that he started by renting out like the backyard of somebody's home to put a biodome on. So he bought like some biodome for like $12,000 off Amazon and like put it into the backyard of somebody's, like paid like $300 a month or something while running an Airbnb out of that biodome. So that was pretty crazy. I thought that his only investment was like $12,000 from renting the backyard of somebody's home in like Palm Springs.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's got a pretty cool story. It's just none of it applies to me. Yeah. I do like the creative aspect though, about how he's been able to do a lot of that stuff. I think there's something to be learned there, even from like us that just focus on long-term rentals. Yeah, with I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch Paces either. I know there were a lot of people that were excited about that one. I wasn't so much. I'm just like, I feel like creative financing is relatively easy to understand. You can make it complicated.
He re-geared it for ORAT.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, he re-geared it for ORAP, but I was kind of thinking to myself, like I gave him about 30 to 45 minutes. And I felt as though like there wasn't anything he was saying that I haven't heard at least 5 to 10 times in the 40 or 50 business books I've read, which I don't really hold that against him. It's just I've read a lot of books.
Well, I think something that, and I think I was talking to Yasik about this, something that we have to take into account is when we first started, a lot of this stuff was new and it was interesting, but we've been doing it for long enough to where I don't think there's a whole lot that people are teaching me about duplexes and triplexes and small multifamily properties. Creative financing, it's not a complicated concept. You can make it as complicated as you want to make it with all the wraps and stuff like that. But if you're just doing a seller carryback, where the seller's financing the property, I mean, that's really simple. Now, there's probably a lot of people that were very excited to see Rob and Pace and probably learned a lot from a lot of the speeches. I don't go to the events for that. To be honest, the speeches, I like watching my friends speak, but speeches aren't my favorite part of the event. It's usually just hanging out with everybody because I've learned enough on my own of actually doing this stuff to the point where I don't think there's too much people are teaching me about my lane. Specifically long-term rentals and small multifamily, that they're not, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to pivot my strategy and they're not adding too much value. I'm mostly there for friends. So if I learn something cool, but otherwise,
You don't have shiny object syndrome?
No, I have. I mean, I'm looking at building, but over time, I've learned that that's just not what has been the thing that makes me more successful. What's made me more successful is just focusing on doing the exact same thing that I've already done and getting really, really good at that and continuing to do that instead of saying, well, maybe I'll do a midterm and maybe I'll do a short-term rental. I'm looking at the construction as I've been buying all of these older properties. What if I keep doing the same thing, but I make my own properties?
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't have to worry about competing with other people. The only thing that I'm going to be competing on is buying a parcel of land, and then I can just stamp these things out. At least that's what I want to get to. So there's not this like constant going all over the place to find these properties. And the coolest thing is when you build it, you can make everything the exact same water heater, same furnace, same everything throughout the whole thing. So it's really easy for your maintenance people to take care of if they have to do maintenance at all, really. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I think building is pretty neat because not only you could standardize it like you're saying it, but also like it's a little creative because you're like, where's the window gonna go? Where's the door gonna go? What's the most accessible like thing that's gonna be able for maybe you're gonna do 2-story, right? Maybe you want to do maximize the space, maybe long narrow hallways and more than one unit, like you said, you wanted to do a duplex, maybe a fourplex.
Yeah, maybe you want to build townhomes. You can do like the 2-story townhomes with the garage in the back. Have like high-end style stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I've been really liking the concept of building because like people are in love with the BRRRR and they're in love with cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of throwing two of those things together by being able to do new construction because we're going to be able to create cash flow. At least some markets you can do that. And we're also creating a ton of value at the same time because we're putting together something that didn't exist before.
I also pay attention to the lighting too, because I like natural light. So if your house is facing south, like make sure all the big windows are on the east for the sunrise. And
gotta have a sunroom.
Yeah, for sure. And like, I don't know, I do think about that a lot. I was like, I do not like being in the dark space whatsoever.
You know what? My fiance, when we were initially looking at the house that we just closed on last week, actually, that was something that she was paying attention to that I didn't even think about is like, what direction is the house in? Because this is where the light's going to come from. I was just like, well, there's enough non-natural light in here. Why do I even care? But it turned out
a light bulb on here.
Yeah. turns out it is in a good direction, I guess. I don't remember which one it is, but it's okay, I guess.
And if you can do higher ceilings, it just looks luxurious.
Yeah.
So
Yoss
nice.
commenting in the chat. He said, I thought the presentation. Oh, yeah, I already went over that one. Let's see. Jokes and funny memes don't get old. Too many people take life way too seriously for my standard. Yeah, I'm kind of on that too.
You're just got goofballs. That's the problem.
Yeah. Everybody's trying to do serious investing things, and I'm just like, I don't know. Just it is what it is. Hey Jonathan, thanks for joining in. Glad to have you here. If this is your first time being here, we do these. Now it's going to be every Saturday at 12 p.m. PST. That's 3 p.m. EST, depending on which time zone you're in. We always talk about real estate. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. Otherwise, we bring a topic that we can talk about. Yasik said, "You are the sunshine," by the way, Lynn.
Thank you. I am in Cali, so 85 degrees today, Jacek.
That's ridiculous. Oh, Jonathan's just throwing the holidays in there. Daylight savings and St. Patrick's Day. All right. Well,
I used to like St. Patrick's Day.
You don't like it anymore?
I don't drink anymore, so I don't like it anymore.
Oh. I don't know. It's the day for to have a Guinness or something like that. Although that's like every Saturday.
Oh.
Thank you.
So why don't we go ahead and pivot to our second topic of what was it that we learned?
What's killing our cash flow?
Yeah, what's killing our cash flow?
Who wants to go first?
I can go.
Yeah.
I can go first. So I'm currently in the process of I give it like 90+% chance that I'm going to sell the second rental I bought. It's never necessarily lost me money, but it's never really made me money. It got me through a rough time, a rough patch where the first one was just taking too long to get it fully renovated. And for a while I was paying both mortgages, and that's great. But it's at the point now where I can see potentially in like 10 years or so that about 50K is going to need to be stuck into it. So what I did wrong and why I don't want to keep this one is, one, it's on a one-way street where the parking is very hard. There's no off-street parking. Two, you have to go up like an entire flight of stairs externally just to get to the first units, and then up another flight of stairs to get to the second unit. It's over-under. The third one, which I didn't even fathom, is how the duct working for the furnace is run. And it's basically a giant U shape through the whole thing, and you can't split it. Well, like you can't split the top from the bottom. So, and to actually split it, so in order to split it, I would have to redo the entire flooring upstairs, and then put in mini splits or something in the upstairs, and the whole project was going to cost about $15,000. And so in the front, also with the hills, and in the back there's more hills, it's going to need some retaining walls and stuff. So plus potentially a new roof in the next 10 years or so. So it's like I'm going to stick, if I keep it, about 50K more into this at least, into a property that I bought for $67,500 that's only worth about $120 the way it sits right now. And even after it's done, it's only going to be worth about $130. And I've already stuck 30 into it for a rehab, so it's very quickly added up to the point where it's just like, okay, I'm literally going to stick almost as much into repairs for this place as that I didn't foresee that that it's actually worth. and we're not even getting into actually paying it off.
Hmm.
Yeah, I feel like those are just things that you don't know until you've had the experience of doing a few of those, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh gosh, that was gonna. I should have known that was gonna be a future problem.
The thing I really kick myself about is that some of the things that have reared their ugly head, I remember talking about it while looking at it, and I was like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. No, it's actually a huge deal, and I should have. I should have not talked myself into it,
Mhm.
Yeah, I've got a
because
few
like
of those coming
there's
up.
months like this. Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, because there's months like this last month where we had that cold snap and stuff. With the way the gas is running and stuff, I didn't make money. I lost $200 this month on that property. But then there's other months in the middle of summer, I'll make about $600 to $800. So overall, it makes money like across the board. But I want something that's consistent, not like, hey, here's $800 this month. Hey, you're -2. Like that's a huge swing.
Mhm.
You should go to your gas company and try to see if you can get set up on the budget billing. A lot of the time, that'll stabilize that throughout the year if you can. Not all companies have that.
I
It's
think
like
I'm just gonna.
$100 per unit for gas. Like that's what
I
it's
just
like.
got. I just got $1,000 gas bill because the insulation apparently is that bad, and
For a duplex?
because I have a high efficiency furnace in it.
For a duplex?
No way.
Dude, I spent $1,000 last month on gas for 12 apartments. I also spent
Yeah,
$1,000
I
on
think they're
water.
keeping up. I think they're keeping it up around 80 degrees or something. But yeah, I'm just over it.
That's
I will
insane.
never buy a unit that each unit can't control the temperature and it is done this way.
Mini splits don't sound too bad now that you're even for the time being while you have it.
I think I can honestly get rid if I'm waiting to hear back from the real estate agent. If he tells me roughly the number I want to hear, I'm gonna sell it, and I think it'll be gone in like 90 days.
Mhm. You'll be able to get back your down payment.
I think when it's all said and done, everything I put into it, I should be able to walk away with a 10K profit. That's after closing costs and all that.
Mhm.
But the thing is, it's the fact that I'm going to free up like almost 60K,
Mhm.
and this is kind of the selling point. It's like I could literally pay off half of my bad debts, go buy another rental property that cash flows on this place's best months and be more consistent, and not be in as much debt, and I could probably be out of my W-2 in like 2 years.
Mhm.
Or you could pay off all of your bad debt.
I'm fine with just half.
Let's not get too crazy with it then. How about you, Len?
We still need something to strive for.
Yeah.
Well, I think my first that comes to mind is like I'm able to reassess my taxes correctly. So that was the first thing that took my first deal from like a 9% cash and card return to like a 6% cash and card return. And like Leon says, if you buy into better neighborhoods, taxes go up either for schools or whatever. Like so, referendum kicking into Hammond, and so that added on top of that 2% reassessment value, like a $500 bill yearly. So I'm like, okay, that's like 2.5% basically on top of that 2%. So that that killed my cash flow a little bit. And then after that, I would think that buying in a bad neighborhood. So I have a duplex that's been a problematic thing to rent out. And even though it was a burr, I think looking back at it, I probably wouldn't buy in the same neighborhood. I think that's one of my worst. Even though now it's rented and now it's cash flowing, it's one of my worst ones. And underestimating water and sewage bills for the property. So I was like counting on my utilities like $50 per month for both, and that's inaccurate. It's more like $140 per boat. So that's another thing that I didn't calculate on. Another thing would be killing my cash flow right now. Asking for market rent on a property. So when I did another burr, instead of going for my low rents, I'm the rotor for market rent instead of low rents. So one of my properties sat down for so long, and I was like very stubborn about decreasing the price because I'm like, I renovated, like I did a burr in it, I renovated it. It's a brick building. It's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath with a full basement with a garage for 2 cars. So I'm like, fixated on the same price and not be able to decrease my rent and then let it see. Basically, that's something that self-inflicted kill my cash flow. Not kill my cash flow, but it costed me more money, I guess. I think that's off the top of my head, but maybe I'll come back.
Yeah, I'm happy to go now. So there's a few things, and I'm glad I got the property I did, but just things that I looked at that I was like, oh, I can deal with that later. Those are things that I've owned the property since 2023. I'm just going to deal with now, so it's not a future problem, because I have the money now. So I'm just going to deal with it. I have some concrete work being done. I didn't anticipate having to do it as fast as I did, mostly because people were using salt on the concrete, and the concrete had already broken the top shell layer. So once you put salt on that, it just starts deteriorating really fast. So I'm having that and new hand railing and posts for the roof, because this is like an overhang, and the overhang's going to like fall down if this concrete gives. So trying to prevent that from happening. Trees are a big thing. If there's trees near your property that are really tall, especially if you live in a downtown area, those can be really expensive to take care of. Like for the 12plex that I own, we had to take down 3 trees last year that were each like 50, 60 feet. They were all dead, so it was cheaper for them to deal with because there wasn't as many branches. It was still $4,000 for 3 trees. And I have one tree that is like 100 feet tall behind my triplex. And that one I could see easily being like $2,500 or more just by itself, just because of all the branches and everything going on that they're going to have to deal with. And we have it overhanging the neighbor's roof and overhanging my garage roof. And, it's going to be a headache for them to deal with. And
yeah, that's something else that's actually in my buy box now is I don't want any trees near the property.
Yeah.
Like the building structure itself.
Well, they can affect the foundation too.
Yeah.
If you get the roots going into the foundation, it's a problem as well. Then foundations. I didn't think I would really have to do anything for a while with the foundation. I mean, it's a brick foundation, so it's like already not my favorite. I assumed at some point in time I'd have to start replacing parts of it. But I'm looking at seeing what I can do as far as like making sure I don't have to do things for longer. So just like, what's the fix I can do now that prevents any future deterioration for as long as possible? One thing that one of my friends uses on concrete blocks is carbon fiber straps. If there's hydrostatic pressure issues, so like where you guys know what I mean, but just for people watching, like if the wall starts to bow inward from water pressure on the side of it, you need, like, one thing they can do is put carbon fiber straps on the wall, but then they need to go correct the grading outside so you don't keep having water go against that wall, because you're just going to have the problem again. So stuff like that. And a roof. I'm probably going to need to do a roof at some point in time. So I've got a lot of really expensive things, and the roof's not happening this year. But there will be a year sometime in the future where that is going to happen. And it's probably going to be sooner rather than later, just depending on, how my cash flow shakes out. I might just take whatever I get from this year after doing these repairs and fix that. Luckily, this property cash flows like $1,500 a month. So I can actually I don't mind taking the cash flow for a year and just throwing it back into the building to make the building nicer.
Don't have to worry about for 30 years with another roof. Yeah, I have 5 new roofs on because I have 5 births. So no, I mean like they're recently placed in. So I'm hoping it's like not any roofing this year, but yeah. Um, Fla- Flavio is asking about the new property that I just acquired.
Oh yeah, the free property.
This is the first time I had to send the title company $52 to close on the property. But yeah, that was pretty cool. It's a 3 bedroom, 1 bath, it's a vinyl siding house with a basement. Currently rented at $12.50 right now. So I took over inherited tenants as a Section 8 tenant. It's not on my normal buy box. It's like off side of my buy box, but neighborhood is nice. Yes, I negotiated 0% down from a seller that I already had a previous relationship with because he has sold me other houses. And this is, I think he's happy with the payments that I made, like always paid on time, sometimes 2 days early. So I think that getting first dip was a thing. But also this year, he offered me 2 houses. Another house had a new roof. I needed a new roof and I needed turnover. So a total of like maybe 14,000 that needed to go into the house, and I declined, even though it was a 0 down. I declined to take it over because of that, and I think that shows growth because I didn't have to spend the money in fixing it. So it's supposed to be put now. So it's just supposed to be a good takeover. So hopefully nothing happens. Me taking over the property.
Inevitably, something will. It's just how it
Something
is.
will happen. Yeah. I do have another. So my 3 vacancies are filled, and then so I'm going into March fully stocked, technically all tenants and all houses, and but then on April somebody's moving out from a house that I have, so not for long. Would have full occupancy right now.
That's nice. I have somebody actually, this is the first time this happened to me. Somebody's moving out because they bought a house.
Oh,
I'm okay breaking somebody's lease if they're going to go buy a house. So, instead of having them pay a fee or something like that. Like, I think he just signed his lease renewal in like November. I was like, sure, I'm filling it in March. This is going to take me like 2 weeks. So I had somebody move out for that. I had somebody get in legal trouble, and so they had to move out of the unit. They were actually in jail, so other people had to take all their stuff out and deal with it. Whatever. That's how this got left. So we'll see if they come back for this. I got it here on my desk in case they want it. And then I have my person that's on Section 8. They pay very weakly. So like I think I've got like $200 out of $600 that I was supposed to get for this month because they lost their job. Luckily, though, the Section 8 housing authority upped their payment since they lost their job from like $400 and something a month all the way up to like almost $1,000 a month. So there's like an extra 130 that they have to figure out how to come up with every month. I was like, you can do like literally any gig job and come up with $130 plus whatever your living expenses are. Because this is like all inclusive in what their rent is. So they don't pay for water or anything separately. It's just like your food, and then $130 a month is all you have to come up with.
Oh, I do want to mention that seller finance offer that I did is the purchase price is 99,000. And I don't believe the property is worth as is 99,000, but because I was able to obtain a property with 0 down, I'm okay overpaying at the price. And then the payments, like the rent that I'm able to get from the house, like surpass the payments by a lot. So it works out for me and it works out for the seller. Not only are they getting a higher price, there's an interest attached with it. So like over the course of 3 years, they're going to get way more money for the house regardless.
Yeah. So you kind of won on the rate, I guess, and they got a little bit more on the price, but it was an easy situation for you to walk into because you put nothing down.
Yeah. $50.
$52. Yeah.
$52 to the tele company. I'm like, do I send this? Because they always want to wire in, right? So do I send another wire? Can I just send this to you via like Zelle or something?
Can I just Venmo somebody? $30 for the wire.
They made me do a wire.
Yeah, that's funny.
I had to do a wire recently, and my bank, because it was my first bank I've ever been with, so they've known me for since a teenager. They actually flagged it as fraud, and like someone would infiltrated my account, was trying to send money out using a wire. They're like, "You never use wires," and I'm just like, "I am today."
No, it's good to have those relationships with the bankers, because I'm sure that's the same people you can go to and say, hey, I have this idea for how I want to do this loan on this property. This is what I'm working on. They get a little bit more situational with you too, which is why I like working with my local community bank as opposed to any lender that's selling it to the secondary market. They're just a lot more picky.
I have a bank that lets you do wires like online. You just set them up and then online. And then I have another bank that I have to get somebody on the phone so I can just like, after you get somebody on the phone, then they send you an identification app to like do your ID, and then you do your picture and all of that. And then you have to sign and then like publicly saying, yes, I'm declaring to do a wire. And like, it's just so many steps to do this like bank that I use.
See, I actually have to go in person, and that's.
See, like, one bank just lets me click, send.
Yeah, Capital One lets me just do wires from my phone. The local community bank that I use, you have to go in there, sit down in somebody's office for them to do the wire transfer for you.
That's how mine is.
Yeah, because I remember I was in Mexico and my partner needed money for something, for another property he was working on, and I didn't want him to spend it on our credit line, like our credit cards for this business, because it was his other entity that needed it for some rental properties. So I just tried to transfer money from our credit line to our checking account and then wire it out. And they were like, yeah, you actually have to come here in person. And I'm like, I'm in Cancun right now. I can't do that. But
it's always when you're on a trip, they're like calling you. You have like an inspection going on, or you have to wire something, and you're like on the phone trying to figure it out.
I was in Belize, and I got called because somebody had turned on their stove, but they didn't turn on all the way to where it ignited. So there was like gas that had came out. Now they caught it a few minutes later, but everybody was smelling gas. So they called the fire department for a gas leak. And I got a call from one of the people that live there saying, hey, so it smells like there's a gas leak here. We've got the fire department here. They're going to, check everything out and see what they can do. And I was like, what? Why doesn't this stuff happen when I live less than 5 minutes from the building?
I'm on the Disneyland, and I'm about to get into a ride, and my appraisal person that's at the house, and my property manager apparently is not at the house. So I'm calling while I'm getting like braced into Disneyland ride. I'm like, oh, can you are you there? Are you on your way? Should I like?
That's ridiculous.
I'm about to go down on that ride right here.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, I feel like it's always the worst timing. It seems like I'm always out of the country whenever I have something bad happen. Makes you not want to leave.
You should have AI try to handle all that for you.
I should just have an AI assistant that they call.
Yeah.
Now, as far as those are things that I like, what I had mentioned earlier about the foundation, trees, and everything like that. Those are things that are large expenses, CapEx items that I didn't account for. Now, something that I didn't really account for in the cash flow side, I assumed the water bill was going to be a lot cheaper. My water bill is like $150 a month, and then I have a $60 a month trash bill. So I think I maybe budgeted $1,200 or $1,300 a year for between water and then just having some trash units there. Just because I was just doing some quick online, like what's the average this, and then the trash and so on. So budgeted like $1,300. It's like over $2,000 a year that I spend on that stuff. So and my taxes went up a lot too. So I mean, there's various things that have caused a little bit of cash flow constriction. When I bought my property too, I had the assumption that rates were going to go down because that's what everybody said. They were like, "Yeah, you can buy it at 7.5%." Well, mine's like 7.3%. Rates are going to go down in like a year. You know, you can refinance at 5%. Everything will be perfectly fine. Well, here we are 3 years later, haven't refinanced yet. I'm waiting for 5% still. When I can do that, I'm going to be able to adjust the cash flow by like over $200 a month. But it's not going to happen for a long time if it is going to happen. So I'm just looking at pulling the money out at this point and just using it for something else and be like, the cash flow is not as good right now, but let's just go buy another property with it.
Yeah, no, rates have gone down. So I have refi at 6.5 it's you, which is like not a lot, that much down, right? But maybe
If you do a cash out, though, I mean, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I've gotten cash out quotes all the way from like 6.5 all the way to like 7.25.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy.
But do interest only when I refi. No, I'm gonna take cash out.
So I don't know if Mark was pointing that at you or me.
It's probably you.
Okay, I'm looking at doing a interest only cash out refinance because it should drop my payment around the equivalent amount of pulling the extra $50K out. So my payment stays the same. I have an extra $50,000 to go invest in something else. Not really worried about principal pay down right now anyways, because I plan on using a like the debt hammer strategy where you just, you have a bunch of awesome properties and some not so awesome properties. You sell the not so awesome property. Well, I don't intentionally plan on buying not so awesome properties, but you know how the thing goes.
Yeah.
And then you sell the ones that you don't want to keep, pay off the ones that you do want to keep, or, put the money in cash reserves or something like that for those. So I'm not as adamant on paying principal down right now.
Agree. I'm not. I'm trying to make it so everything is basically no money left behind. So in the deal, and even though that's probably not the best, I think for this year for 2026, it's gonna work out for me at the time because it's gonna give me some safety to do whatever I want to do for the W2 into the private company that I have, and which is gonna stabilize me so I can decrease my income even further because I don't have debt, right? Like that is gonna be bad debt per se. But I recently had a conversation with somebody that invested in Gary too, and what his strategy is he buys a property with a mortgage and then he buys a property cash. And then he buys property with mortgage and cash. So currently he has 3 outright properties he owns cash and then 2 with mortgage, which his cash flow right now, it's about $5,000, which is pretty good for having 5 properties.
Yeah, no, it's solid. Yeah.
But it's whatever you're.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever you're comfortable with in that situation. I don't mind having the debt right now just because I'm more in the growth phase. That's why I'm looking at even amping up the debt that I have just to be able to go out and acquire more properties. But there will come a time where I do want to cut down on that. How about you, Jack? You look like you're frozen.
No, I'm just watching the cop watching traffic.
He's got his little scanner. Just
yeah. He literally parked like right in front of me, and he's. I'm kind of just waiting for him to zip out any second to go nail someone.
Yeah.
There's a few people doing probably at least 50 or 60 in the 35, and I was just like, you could have had him. You could have had him. You could have had him.
There's your paperwork for the day.
But honestly, you have me thinking for a second. It's just like, should I sell that one problem and pay off my first one? It's like, no, it makes more sense to honestly pay off the bad debt, because by paying off my first rental, it's like yeah, I save $600 a month, but at the same time, by paying off half my bad debt, I'm saving $900 a month.
Yeah, it's all a numbers game. If you
Mhm.
pay
Yeah.
off all your bad debt, you're saving $1,800 a month.
Mhm.
Exactly.
I'm going to convince you to
Have
do this.
that from using credit cards to like do your rehabs, or
It, a lot of it's lines of credit that I used to do the rehabs and stuff,
Mhm.
and I've never gotten back around to fully paying them off because it's like every time, especially with the one I'm selling, it's like by the time I get to where I'm starting to make some money coming in, it's like boom, something else explodes on that one. It's just like it's just time to get rid of it, make it go away. You use it to pay off, a good chunk of everything, and just go from there.
yeah. No, I have the same. So like when I decided to do the ADU on my back, I didn't have all the money. I had half the money. So I was like, I have half the money. Let me just figure it out and then figure out how I'm going to pay the other half. So I do have a $70,000 balance of that ADU
Mhm.
on a line of credit. But because it's rented and it's bringing profit, I'm not worried right now. And it's interest only. Is your line of credit interest only or is it both?
It's both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah. So that's why I just want to get out from it. It'll save me so much money. I can move faster when it's all said and done.
mhm. Dylan left us.
Yeah. Yeah. He's too cool for us.
He's probably been talking since like 8 a.m. in the morning, which is like a long time now.
It sounds like he drank a lot of energy drinks.
Yeah, he does.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm surprised you still have energy.
Yeah, no, I was actually I felt like I was gonna fall asleep on the previous on Mark's stream just because I've been up since like 4 and like 3 calls in a row plus it's like 4 or 5 hours of talking. I'm
Yeah,
tired,
I
a
agree.
little tired.
You pounded that energy drink and you have fake fuel energy now.
Yeah, exactly. I have temporary energy for like the next 10 to 15 minutes and I'm probably gonna crash.
Oh, I have a question, guys, for you. Do you generate a 1099 for yourself when you're self-managed, or do you just do book like?
No, so you don't want to take that as income.
Mhm,
You'd rather take it as a passive income from the property.
mhm,
You talk to your accountant about that, but anytime you can prevent anything from being ordinary income, it's more favorable because like all of that income has like the depreciation that can be weighed against it and stuff like and the expenses that you have on repairing the property and such weighed against that. So yeah, it's optimal to not try to do that.
Yeah, no, I do get a 1099 miscellaneous from my property manager, and this year is wrong. So I just have to have her redo it and send it back again to me. But I was like, I don't know. I did not make $100,000 on the properties. There's no way.
Why is she giving you a 1099 for your income on the properties?
Uh, just to show revenue, and then I can go in. Is it a 1099? Am I tripping? Yeah, 1099 miscellaneous.
Oh, 1099 MISC.
Yeah. So it's not like I can assign what kind of income it is.
Yeah, I don't know the differences. I just know that being able to keep it and that's probably how they do it for passive income. I don't know. I'm no tax person. I just have the lady that does my taxes tell me what to do and then
Yeah.
take care of it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah. Shoot, I wish I was doing those kind of numbers right now. I was
like, it's like half of that, lady.
yeah. I was talking to one of my friends about this recently because my total portfolio should do about 30 a year right now, but I've been having expenses that's net cash flow.
Mhm.
I've been having expenses come up though, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe like half of that or something. You know what I mean? Next year should be sweet.
Hopefully, no roofs.
Yeah, hopefully no roofs. Hopefully we can do some cash out. Not even cash out refinances. I'll do, you know what? If I can get a rate in the 4s, I'll just rate and term. That's it. I'm not touching any of that cash.
Where is that going to happen?
Probably not going to happen. Maybe if we get the wrong Fed chair, it will happen. They're like, we got to cut rates. Don't care about inflation. We just need rates to be low again.
Yeah.
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 Right.
I remember the first time I got a rate from a lender, like when I was in college. I was looking at duplexes and stuff like that, and I had somebody like write up a thing. It said 3.75% for an investment property with 20% down, and I was like, I don't know, that seems kind of high, because I was thinking like 3%, but oh my gosh, if I had 3.75% right now, I'd be in a different world.
Yeah, no, the first time I got pre-approved, I got pre-approved for a 4.1 and I closed on a 4.1 and I thought I was like, oh, rates are never going to drop from 4.1 because I was already 29 years old and I had seen rates for like 5 and 6 prior. And then so I'm like, yeah, they're not going to drop below 4. So little did I know they did drop.
Yeah. I know people that have like in the 2s on their rates.
I have a 2.7.
That's insane.
I know. I'm never going to move though.
Yeah, we were running the numbers on like what the difference in payment is if you have what we just got, which was like a 6.125 versus a like 2, well, not 2, but like 3% interest rate. It's a massive difference every month. It's like $300 a month. Bro, if I get into 4%, I'm gonna be cash rich. Yeah, that's about right. That's what I'm talking about. Cash out, refinance everything, and your payment goes down.
What is it? They had a question about like, you want the money now or you want the money in monthly payments? Who was asking the question? I think there's a video.
Mark. So it's from the Mr. Beast video that they recently did where they ended up paying somebody out $5 million. It was, would you rather take $5 million now, and I believe that's net of, I want to say it's net of taxes. I don't know. And then or $50,000 a month for life.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's divided on what makes more sense: $50K a month for life, or
people that $50,000 away for life. They are thinking they don't trust themselves.
Yes. Well, also, if you are investing the 5 mil, my estimate was that you need to generate at least 12% on your money per year to be able to equal the $600,000 a year that you would get.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, a lot of the stuff that I've done so far has exceeded that. So, I'm not saying that I'm always going to do that, but like take 8% cash on cash plus your depreciation plus your principal pay down and everything together. You're probably at like 15% anyways.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's solid. Oh, and I didn't even count appreciation in there. 20%. There you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when people they're like, say they started with nothing and they got $1 million from their parents, and I'm like, you did not start from nothing. Like you had a big nest egg, and whatever. If you made it like $100 million, then that's on you. But you cannot say, "Oh, I was scrapping by."
Yes.
That starting grace was like your stair number 3, and
I've seen that a fair bit of people saying that. Yeah,
I would take the $50,000 a month, by the way.
really?
Yeah. Because I was thinking to myself, I was like, in cash, I was like, that's like a rental property every 3 months, and I can actually get faster doing that.
Yeah. It depends. Like I feel like there's so many different ways to look at it. I feel like the easy approach, if you're wanting the most simplistic thing possible, it's just saying the $50,000 a month, because that's, I mean, provided that in perpetuity is actually into perpetuity,
Mhm.
that's awesome, because you're not going to have to do anything, and you're probably not living on that much money anyways right now, so you can save most of it and invest it into other things. That being said, if you take the 5 million, you do need to be good at investing, but I think you might be able to take it further because you have that money now.
Yeah. Cost opportunity.
Yeah. Yep. But pretty cool thing to see the differences. And I think there was a difference in like age too. Like certain people were answering a different way based on age, like how old they are, or like the kind
See,
of
that's
age.
what I was thinking. I was thinking about the age thing.
Yeah.
So in the long run, you'd make more than the 5 million, and it should impact your taxes less. I'm thinking. No,
I don't know.
you still get slammed.
Yeah, see, this is the same thing Harrison said last night.
Taxes.
He said $50K a month, throw 60% into Tesla and wait for it to double.
Oh my God, trading better.
You need to trade better, Harrison.
60% in Tesla? Jesus Christ.
No.
Say better. There's a reason why you're number 99 and not 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, if I were you right now, I'd be looking at Intuit. That's what I've been buying. And Uber.
We don't give professional advice here.
Well, no, I was just telling him. If he's talking about Tesla, I'm like, Intuit owns QuickBooks, they own MailChimp, they own TurboTax, and the AI scare stuff is just like got everybody freaked out. But the funny thing is, nobody's going to switch from doing their taxes with TurboTax to AI. Like they have proprietary technology built to help people file their taxes. People aren't just going to be like, hey, ChatGPT, file my taxes for me.
Yeah.
Here's my social security number.
I'm thinking of doing my taxes this year. I've been paying SPA for the last 2, and I always review obviously what they do, and I'm like, I think I could do the same. Like, I don't think it should be that much more difficult, more than like 1 day worth of work for them.
Yeah, I'll have to figure it out because I'm closing down some stuff this year, so it's getting more niche, not niche. It's getting more simple. So it's just down to my properties and my my W-2 position. So I think that on its own, I can do the taxes for. But when it was like a corporation plus, like they had me listed as an employee and I was getting paid out of that and stuff like that, like that was more complicated than I wanted to deal with myself. But I think a few rental properties, I could just throw in QuickBooks.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. We'll see. I haven't decided. I'm like on the fence right now because I'm looking at the returns from the last years and I'm like, all of this I could do.
Yeah.
But is it worth my time?
That's the question. Trade Better 99 said $50K a month is a house in Gary every month.
It could be if you're me.
Yeah. You got to get those off-market deals.
Right. And the knowledge that's on my brain.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you want to get this knowledge, I've got a course for you to buy.
I don't have a course.
So honestly, you kind of made me think of this, Dylan, just with that comment.
Uh-huh.
When we're all done, okay, like we're all like we're all sitting on the beach having our fancy drinks and stuff, laughing about the good old struggles that we used to have, and lighting cigars with $100 bills because.
I don't know. I'm not gonna be lighting $100 bill on the fire. You can do that. I'll take a fake one.
No, I'll do that with a fake one. It's cheaper.
Yeah. There you go.
No, I actually would. I actually don't smoke cigars anymore. But would you ever consider actually making a course for people
It depends.
that people have to pay for?
Oh, if I did a course, I wouldn't do a free course because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So yes, I would make people pay for it. That being said, I'm probably not. I don't think I'd want to do one where I just give people the information and I say like, have fun, go figure it out. I'd want it to be a little bit more like actual like class style where we're covering different concepts and then people can
Mhm.
ask questions and stuff like that. So they're actually interacting with me and it's not like I'm just trying to sell 10,000 people a $300 course or something like that. You know what I mean?
So you try to set something up like Matt, the lumberjack landlord's boot camp.
Yeah, I just don't think I have enough experience to do something like what Matt does. So
Well, we're talking like 10, 20 years from now.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I would do it at that point, to be completely honest.
Too much work.
Yeah, too much work.
See, I would maybe do, like, if I was to do something, I would consider doing something like what Zuber has and used to do more of, where he has a bunch of modules and what was it called?
Cool.
No, it was before school. Teachable, where he has Teachable and a bunch of things you could pay for. I would think about doing something like that, where I can just do it one time, and then do like a back-to-back weekly live type of thing. Like do kind of like what Matt and Dion do, but cut it off at like an hour, 2 hours, and then roll right into the follow-up one that you have to pay to get into.
Mhm.
Like have a free one and then one you pay for. I would think about doing that.
I think the Power community is great, and I think that it's pretty good. So I would say, yeah, probably a course, and hopefully more women in real estate. Guys, girls, come over here.
Yeah, buy Lynn's course to learn how to
I don't have a course, but my friend just opened a school, so it's free. You can join.
Yeah, it's free for now.
Free for now.
Yeah, I did like this one. I saw Yasik put this in the chat because everybody says their FI numbers are less than. Of course, everybody's FI numbers are less than 50K a month. It's very. I don't know what the percentage is, but it's a rarity to make that much money. For you, yeah.
I think you could do it, Dylan.
What, 50K a month?
50,000 a month.
Yeah.
It's all just a matter of the mind, man. If you can put your mind to creating a good enough course, you can make $50,000 a month.
I think the people that do create courses, I feel like they have to I know it's clips and whatever, a lot of us AI generated, but it sounds like, for example, Taj Nguyen, like he's on my Instagram all the effing time.
Uh-huh.
I can't scroll for 20 minutes without having him showing up every 10 reels or something.
Yeah. I wouldn't be against doing something like that. I just think you have to be relatively careful about how you present it and how you sell it, because a lot of people do not like it.
I really don't have an opinion about them. I don't know a whole lot about them.
Well, I have opinion on people that have certain flipping courses and wholesaling courses and creative finance courses and some stuff like that. So,
oh, is he one of those type?
Who?
Thatch.
Oh no, I don't know about that. I know Thatch does development and other stuff, but I thought he had
community is something like $14,000.
See, we need to be charging that, Lynn.
I think I think the best way to get $50,000 a month, make a $50,000 course, and then tell everyone, see, you just proved my point.
That's
For
like
$14,000, I will find your deal. I will put the tenant out there.
That's like gosh, what was it? I sent a message in the group chat where this older guy had posted something on Twitter, and he said, back in my day, I mowed like 300 lawns to save up for my house, and I bought it for $30,000. And this other guy commented on it, and he was like, all you have to do is mow 1,000 lawns a day for $300 each, or something like that. And he was like, then you can buy a $300,000 house every single day. Why can't you do that? Like, it's just it's so good.
What is an LLM? Do you guys know?
Yeah, it's a large language model. It's
Oh,
like ChatGPT,
okay.
Gemini, Claude, stuff like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I should create a training program using. I don't know what that is. I'll have to check that out. Yes, they should. Yes, they should. I agree.
Yeah.
And travel more.
Yes.
And also front load building your real estate portfolio, because it feels so awesome when you don't have to take every dollar that you make and throw it into the portfolio.
Yeah, I was thinking the other day, like earlier this week, I got sick and I had a cold and I had to go to work, right? And I had to go to work, and after work, I had my other work. So I had to work from 5 to 7 p.m. And then after that, I'm like sitting in the kitchen just thinking, why am I pushing? Like, I technically could have canceled first, call in sick from work, number one, and second, cancel, reschedule my appointments for like later or later in the week or whatever. But why am I doing this right now? And then immediately my brain goes like, well, you're doing this because you're front loading your work now, so you don't want to work later, harder in 10 years when you are like 46 and probably your back hurts.
Yeah, exactly. Curtis from PE turned RE said, everybody I've met that has done Thatch's course says it's worth it. Small but mighty group of rich people. I could see that if people are paying $14,000. I could also see people spending $14,000 that make like $50,000 a year. That is generally what I have a problem with. I think a lot of the time with the courses, there needs to be some vetting. Not saying they don't have it. I've never even looked at Thatch's course or whatever he has. But I know there's a lot of people that buy those really expensive programs that don't actually have the money to spend on it, and they put it on a credit card.
Yeah.
But
it's also the psychology of money too. Like, if you are invested somehow, that means you're going to work at it. Because a lot of people, if they don't have any skin on the game, if they don't have any risk, then you're not going to lose anything or gain anything. Then they don't take it seriously. So because you're spending money, psychology is like, oh no, I'm actually making this huge effort and put it on my credit card and I have to pay it off or whatever, or go bankrupt. Then there's that risk, and now they're going to take it seriously. Now they're going to put into, make sure they watch every module, make sure they go into every accountability call. But some people have that discipline regardless if it's $14,000 or it's like $100, right?
Yeah. That felt like have you seen the Righteous Gemstones?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a character from it that's like a salesman, and he's hilarious. But that's I was talking to somebody about courses, and I gave that pitch. I was like, I would feel terrible if I didn't charge you this much money, because you wouldn't take it as seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to feel the weight of it, so you actually take it seriously and do everything that we say in the course. Like, I was completely joking, but that's how a lot of people will sell it too. But I get what you're saying. If you don't pay, you're not going to take it seriously. But you can pay like $500 and learn something. You have to pay $20,000.
People are like, some people, for example, let's say your girlfriend wants to go through your phone. Some people would be like, oh, that's totally fine. She can go through my phone all she wants. Some other people was like, no, that's an infringement upon my rights. And that's also like totally not okay. And to have somebody do that, like, it just depends on the person that you're talking to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I usually my phone goes off and it's in the other room, and since Cynthia's closer, it's like, can you read that to me?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, what's your password again? I'm just like, you know my password. I told you 18 times.
Don't tell us your password, okay?
It's just 0, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah.
Trade Better said, Jack, you should create a Ty Lopez commercial for your course. Yeah, I'm here in my garage with my Toyota Prius.
I'm here with my 20-year-old vehicles. Don't you want to be like me? Yeah.
If you have any flashy things anywhere, like on Instagram or YouTube, but I immediately don't take you seriously.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna have to hop off.
Okay.
I have to finish getting ready for work.
Okay, sounds good. We've just got one last one to go over with for Yasik.
All right, I'll hang out for the last one.
Okay. Yasik said, what do you think the percentage of people that actually are willing to put in the work? Very finite. Maybe like 5-10%.
10%, yeah.
I'd be willing to go even less. I'd say, like, I'll be honest, I think the people in the ORAC community are literally the 1%, like, of the people that are willing to suck it up and do the grind. And that's kind of what gets me frustrated with people like, was it Brian and Ryan?
Yeah.
Where it's just like, they want to bitch and complain about, like, oh, it's so hard. Yeah, but you're not actually learning anything. You're just like working hard and spinning your wheels. It's like, but you're not focused. Like, focus. You need focus, discipline, and you need to be able to grind through the hard times. And you got 2 out of 3. You need 3 out of 3. This isn't like trying to find a contractor where it's like you can have quick, cheap, or fast. Or no, good, cheap, quick. Or, you know, where it's like you can have 2 out of 3. It's just like, no, you need 3 out of 3.
Yeah.
I don't think they have the personality of like jumping from business to business idea. Like, I do not have that. Like, I can just be like, oh, now I'm gonna do this. Now I'm gonna do open up a wholesale company. Now I'm gonna do a golf company. Now I'm gonna do a flipping company. Like, what? No.
No, I'm gonna do a tennis ball making company.
Now I'm gonna sell Pokemon cards. Like, no.
Yeah. No, I feel like that's more of an entrepreneur mindset, but like more shiny object syndrome, like jumping from the thing to thing to try to maximize the amount of money you're making. I don't know. There's different people though. Like, I can't say that's all business owners, because there's a lot of business owners that just say one lane mindset and just get things done. I
think that the label of like W2 worker and entrepreneur is so like broad, because even you have like speakers, let's say motivational speakers that are extremely extroverted, and then you have the speakers that are extremely introverted, and then just to assign that qualifier to each person is like not fair. Yeah. And I guess we can leave it with Yasik's last comment. He said, life is a marathon, not a sprint. Learn how to run. Yeah, learn how to run, because you're going to be doing it for a while, hopefully.
Something flew in my eye while wearing sunglasses. How's that even possible?
Well, I don't know, man.
Your windows closed, you know?
Yeah, they're closed. like, and I'm running the AC. Like,
oh my goodness.
You don't have to recirculate air, probably.
I don't know.
I guess we'll leave you to it, man. And at that, this is the end of the episode, I guess. Yeah. And I'll see y'all next week. Dylan is going to clock out right now. Bye.
Nap time. I'm going.